Hey, good morning. Jerry here with Century Farm Organics. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we've had some interesting rain the last couple weeks. We planted corn and we got, I think, about 2.5 inches of rain. It came down sideways, so there was less in the gauge, but yeah, we got a lot of rain in just a small area. 6 miles away on one of our other farms, we got 1/4 of an inch. So just a pocket came up. So this field is currently a challenge. We missed our rotary hoe timing because of the rain, and just I'll just show you a couple things here. If you can see over there, we have a big wet spot, and that was because on our neighbor's property the tile didn't drain. I'll show you that in a little bit, and then I'll show you forward what we're dealing with. You can see coming up ahead here is a lot of foxtail. This field is notorious for foxtail. We've got a plan. We're going to plow it this fall. Next year will be soybeans. We've got that new weed zapper. We're going to hit it pretty hard and see if we can't get some of this foxtail out of here. But you can see we got almost a green mat of foxtail. So anyways, yeah, that's what we're battling today. We're actually running a treffler tine weeder, which I will show you what it's doing. We actually have the rows tied up, and we're running it fairly aggressively on this foxtail. It's doing a pretty good job. It's not getting it all, but it's really loosening everything up right into the row, moving some dirt in there, and really all we're trying to do is gain ourselves some time. Our next pass will be with the Hinniker, and we're going to try to bury that foxtail with about 3 inches of dirt. So that's what we're battling with today. All right, so I turned around. I just want to talk a little bit more about this treffler. New tool for us. That yellow bar right there controls each individual spring. That's what we like about this one, is every spring is self-tensioned. And then that little bar right there, we can do it. I have it on 7 right now. Been going up to 8 in really heavy foxtail. But as you can see, I'll show you the before. Got a fair amount of green in front of us. And if you were to look back here, yep, we do have some green right in the row, but a lot of it's getting loosened up. And really what we're trying to do is keep it at bay so we can bury it later. We may end up having to do some flame weeding in this field too. We'll see how the Hinniker does. But one of the things is just having the tools available to do things. So we have one of these trefflers. We're actually behind because of the rain. If I had 2 of them, I'd be running both of them right now, but we don't. So next year maybe we'll have to get another one. But just having redundancy is not a bad thing. When you need to go, you need to go. So we've been running a lot of hours trying to play catch up on corn. I think we'll be all through our corn sometime tomorrow, the way it's looking. So yeah, one more thing I wanted to show you is we run track tractors. Some people think it's crazy because they rip up the ends on turnarounds, but one thing I can show you coming up here is, so this is a big bottom coming up, and we've been through this with the rotary hoe already, and we were able to do that with track tractors. What we found is with wheel tractors, we weren't able to get in as quickly. So we actually were able to rotary hoe what we could, and instead of turning around, which we probably would have done with the wheel tractor, kind of went right through. The water was down, but there was a little bit of mud. So that's a benefit. That's kind of one of the things. We have a lot of low bottom areas, and so it's coming up right here. You can see just lifted the rotary hoe up and went right through the mud coming up. But that's a benefit. Also, this corn was underwater for about 24 hours. So we had about 1 foot of water on here after that 2.5 inch rain. And most of it's still living. I think some of it's kind of stressed out here. but we still have corn anyways. We'll see how it produces. Yeah, right here is an example of Kyle went through the mud with these tractors and was able to get through it and not have to turn around before the mud. So one of the reasons we have tractors is this situation right here, and it seems like we run into it a lot. So anyways, yeah, this corn is still going. We were able to get the water off of here fairly quickly, and now we're coming through. One thing I'm going to do here is, if you look here, I'm going to reduce the tension back to about 4, just because we created a hard crust here. There's not a lot of weeds here. All I'm trying to do is break up that crust to get some free dirt. You can see we have a lot of moisture because of the rain yet, and I don't want to bury too much corn. And I felt like if I'm going aggressive down here, I'm going to start burying corn. So I reduced it back, and that's a nice thing about this treffler is just with hydraulics I can change the tension, and every spring immediately changes. So yet another advantage of well-designed tools. I think this one comes out of Germany. All right, we're coming back up the hill here. I have another little issue of some residue, some bean stubble washed up. Once again, I can just lift the tines up and let that flow through and go right back to my setting. And when I look up ahead here, all of a sudden immediately I have foxtail. So I'm actually just gonna adjust and go back to 7 or 8 here on the aggressive meter, and you can watch this foxtail come out. So that's what I'm heading to, and that's what it looks like. So okay, well, many places are struggling for rain, and guess what? This field is getting rain again. Our other farms are dry and could use rain, and I don't think they're getting rain. Just this section is just getting rain multiple days that everybody else isn't. So I don't know if that's lucky or not this year, but I hope it keeps up for all summer long that we keep getting rain. But it makes weeding a little bit tough. I'm still going. We'll see. This rain keeps up much more, I'm probably going to have to take a little bit of a break, but still going right now. And what I'm going to watch for here is on the treffler, I'm going to be looking at what do the tines do. If they start making mud, or if the mud starts really sticking to the tines, that's when it would be better to stop and wait. So anyway, yeah, we're getting rain. All right, I'm back here. So I think at the beginning I said the good, the bad, the ugly. So I'm going to show you this. You just got to see it. We're running through probably the worst part of the field here. I'll show you what we're looking at. Just a green mat of foxtail. And like I said, we couldn't get in here earlier because of rain. We missed our timing on our rotary hoe pass. So we have foxtail coming, which this field has had foxtail in the past. So I just wanted to show you what this is like here. So in the middle, if you can see this, it's mixing it up really well. We're not getting all the foxtail in the row, but what we're doing is loosening it up. If we can just keep it at bay in the worst parts, when this corn gets a little higher, we'll see if our Hinniker can bury it. Otherwise, we go to the next tool, which is our flame weeder, and burn it off and then bury it. So I just wanted to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is the worst part of the field right here. So I've been thinking the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if that's the bad and that's the good, where's the ugly? Oh, there's Josh coming up behind us. All right, I'm back tine weeding. we had Kevin running with our Kofar Harrow finger weeder combo, and I'm running with the treffler, and we're got a side-by-side comparison here. So I'll show you. This over here was done with Kevin did that with the Kofar. That's our foxtail I showed you, and this is what the treffler looks like. So I'm actually going to get out here and do some side-by-side comparisons for you. Alright, so if I look at this, we still have some foxtail in the row. It's kind of loose. One thing Kevin was saying was he was not able to go as fast or as aggressively on this as he was in his last field, just because it's the corn is pretty small yet. This is what it looks like before I pass through, and then I'll show you what the treffler's doing. In my opinion, I think the treffler's doing a better job. I'm rolling a little bit in, so like here's a little foxtail that we'll have to get later. But a lot of these we're at least getting some dirt on top of the foxtail. And remember, this is some of the worst spots. This was really green. And here we're picking some of it up, and anything out here is lifted. It's going to dry out today. So certainly not getting everything, but I personally like how the treffler's doing on this field more than the other one. Now in taller corn where Kevin can go faster, he was having better results with that Kofar and finger weeder. So yeah, just wanted to show you what it's doing. Great example right here. We're not getting everything, of course. We're getting some dirt on top of there. If we can just keep it at bay, the next step would be come with the Hinniker, and it's going to basically fill in dirt all through here as this corn gets up about this tall, and try to bury all that foxtail. So it's a multi-step process. Organic farming is a lot of decision making, and sometimes not always the easiest of answers. But yeah, that's what we face every year with organic farming. So